Hey, what's up? You watching Delio, and in this video we're going to talk about how I feel about the Xania Monet situation with the music and the Billboard thing and AI music in general. And this is something I've sort of resisted talking about or resisted facing for a while because it was such a different thing. And at face value, I didn't like it. I didn't like the fact that someone could just prompt a song and get on Billboard, but that's where we're at right now. We're going to talk about it. So the thing is that when I first heard about the situation, I didn't like it. I didn't like it when I heard about Suno. And the reason I didn't like it is because you're now creating music in a non-traditional way. You didn't have to learn how to play. You didn't have to learn how to sequence. You didn't have to learn how to mix. All you really had to do was learn how to prompt. And, I didn't like it. I didn't like the fact that she doesn't sing. She went viral, and that contributed to her success in the mainstream music arena with the charts. And that's the game right now. If you're viral as an independent artist, that's when the labels come get you. It's no longer the situation where you're trying to apply to the label, because the label wants to know if they can make money with you, which is what they're in for. That's what the music industry wants. So I think, no, it's not fair to traditional artists and musicians. However, if you are more talented than this individual, then you should be more prepared and more enabled to prompt better than this individual did. So after I got over the fact that I did not like the situation, I thought to myself, well, let me reflect on the situation and see if there's something I can learn from the situation. See, that's the problem I have. A lot of people on the internet, a lot of people on the internet type on things and they have opinions on things, and that's great. They're free to do that. But my concern is that a lot of these people who say what should be and how things should go are unable to demonstrate in real time what they're talking about. A lot of people just talk. When I was also reflecting on this, I was thinking to myself, well, since the music industry has been fair or has played nice to independent artists or to anyone? Since when has Spotify been fair to independent artists? To be honest, since when YouTube has been fair to content creators who've been on the platform for a long time? Things have changed right now, and obviously I know that the world doesn't care what I like or think, but the reality is that the music industry does not play fair. Not only that, the music public, to me, doesn't really care how the music is made so long as they enjoy it. Also, I'll take it one step further, and I think that the music industry tells people who they are to like. The reason I think about that is you think about who's on the radio on these platforms. These industries or these record labels have the budget to get the music out there way more than the independent artists, and that those people who are not musicians, who are consumers of music, hear that music over time. And that's the thing about music. When you hear the same song over time, it grows on you. It doesn't even matter if it's bad. If you hear it enough time, it grows on you. So when I look at the success of Xania Monet, it's based upon things that a traditional musician and artist are not looking at for success. However, it bridges the blocks together between the public's attention and the pockets of the record labels. So in my opinion, the music industry has stopped being based upon how talented you are. Can you think of an artist that's getting shine today that's not very talented? Doesn't even sound like they want to be there, but they're constantly being thrust in your face and just constantly showing up in your feed? Or do you remember when Soulja Boy went viral for his hit song Crank That Soulja Boy back in the day? That was one of my most viral videos because I did a top box cover of that song. And when I first heard that track, I'm like, man, is this song even mixed? It didn't matter that the song was mixed. It didn't even matter how the song was produced. Kids were doing that dance and it took off and went viral. And that's what made it matter. Not only that, I do think that we live in a very image-based society right now. So most of the time it's based upon how you look and how you can, and in a world where you could create a perfect avatar, well, now you can look perfect on the internet too. You don't even have to be yourself. You could be this avatar. So in my opinion, things have changed, and I think AI is a new IT. I can remember a time when everybody's talking about get into IT, educate yourself at IT, go get yourself an IT degree so you could work. That way you can make some good money. But now things have changed. Now it's about AI and learning how to use AI and training on AI. The work has changed. The prompting is now the work. The work is no longer the work because these tools do the work now. Now it's about prompting. How good of a prompter, how well are you able to describe and communicate your thoughts to the platform that you're using? So the opportunities are no longer based on how well you could do things, but how well you can prompt. And I think it's important to educate yourself on this stuff. And it's just Educate yourself on how did she do it. As a matter of fact, try it for yourself. Make a song like she did and make yourself an avatar just like she did and upload it to the internet and see what happens. At the end of the day, nobody plays by whatever rules you think you have in your head that you think everybody should follow. The world does not follow that. So in my opinion, you can stay traditional and keep cooking on your MPC 60 with vinyl. There's nothing wrong with that. Matter of fact, I think that's a fun thing to do. I like that. I'm into that. But the world doesn't give a damn about that. There may be a lane for that or something around it, or it might be a way to connect. If you go viral sampling on your MPC 60, guess what? You're going to get work. But at the end of the day, I think the general public that consumes music doesn't want to see that. The general public doesn't care about what compressor you used, or if you used an Apollo Twin or a Behringer Ultra Gain or an Akai MPC Mini 4 or a Behringer XL or a Mini D. They don't care about those things. To me, AI is nothing more than the next gen sampler, because the AI is running off of a model, and a model is a set of materials that it can pull from to generate the results that you tell it to do. So do you remember when sampling was controversial? Where you record a sample, you're literally training the PCM RAM chip to recreate, you're training it on what sound you want it to make by sampling the sound in there. And then you're also training the sequencer on when to trigger those sounds in the sequence that you're playing right there. You're telling that thing what to do. It's just a different way. Instead of you using words, you're using your hands, using your ears to identify, okay, is this the right sample or model that I want that sample to play back? But that's what these AI things are doing. So at the end of the day, people are being trained on this. Your boss is probably being trained on how to use this to create their, to increase their efficiency. A lot of people being trained on it right now. And, you know, just wrapping it up like this, you know, there's always going to be some kid in a bedroom with a laptop that does not care about the things you care about. And I know that's not fair. It's not cool. It doesn't feel good. But there are people, there are individuals, I just say kids, because kids don't have the life experience and the disappointments in their life to kind of deter them from trying things like older people do. And so, you know, those kids are going to just try stuff and create stuff anyway, and stumble upon things that we wouldn't normally stumble upon because we're so resistant to it. And I myself was very resistant to it, but my experience teaches me that it's best to educate yourself on it, learn how it works, and then also learn how to leverage it for yourself. As for me, I make music, so I don't need to know to make music. I can use it to make music. I have that option now, but I don't need it to do that. And I have the track record, even though there are individuals that don't want to research me and look at the thousands of videos that I have on my platform. I could do it with or without. So I should be better able to create music with it. But that's not what I use AI for. Now I have a better way to put visuals to my music, because we live in a very visually based society. Now I have an ability to create visuals on the music I already recorded. I could create music videos for songs that I've had out for years that maybe might get someone's attention that wouldn't have got attention before, because at the end of the day, yeah, you can post a waveform of your iPhone and a wave file. People play to click it, that's cool. But a lot of people don't pay attention to that. When you announce that you have music out, a lot of times people just scroll past it and don't care. But if you put a music video to it, or at least a short form music video to it, now people pay attention. I could think of a time where I did something for a song I had out for like a few months, and then I did a visual for it, and then boom, all of a sudden people are asking me, hey, where can I get this song at? Where can I get this song at? And I'm like, I get it. You paid attention because there's something you could see. You got to catch the eyes first before you catch the ears on these platforms. But that's a whole nother thing. So those are my thoughts on the situation. I think it's okay. I don't like it, but I understand it. And I think it's best for me to better understand how it all works and maybe try some different things than I've tried in the past. You're watching the Delio T2K YouTube channel. I'm Delio. Peace out.